Because of Comey's firing, the FBI delivered a preservation notice to McCann, instructing the White House to preserve all relevant documents concerning Comey's firing. McCann issued a document hold and instructed staff that nothing was to be burned pending his review. On 5/18/17, Sessions tendered his resignation for the first time. The president shook Sessions' hand and kept the letter. On 5/30/17, the president returned Sessions' letter of resignation. Next, Trump ruminated on the firing of the special counsel. Then he went on the attack, tweeting, "They made up a phony collusion story with the Russians. Found zero. So now they go for obstruction of justice on the phony story. Nice." Then he states, "Witch hunt led by bad and conflicted people." Really. When we review the president's direction to McCann to fire the special counsel, there is clear evidence of obstruction of justice. Trump directed McCann to call Deputy AG Rosenstein to fire the special counsel. The president urged McCann to do this immediately on a Saturday. Remove Mueller. The only reason the president would have had for removing Mueller was because he feared a foreseeable grand jury proceeding. All of Trump's acts, his calls, his tweets, and his attempt to fire Mueller weighed on his mind. Then he learns Flynn is in the special counsel's crosshairs. Mueller went after Flynn for good reason. Flynn was the point man for Russia, asking them not to retaliate for Obama's sanctions. Flynn indicated that Trump would take care of them, the sanctions, with Putin when he's president. By June 17, 2017, Trump is now faced with an investigation he didn't want, but by his own actions forced. The special counsel was now investigating him for the crazy shit he asked of everyone. Next, on 6/19/17, he dictates a letter to Corey Lewandowski, saying he had no connection with the Russians. Yet, his children were busy saying they got encrypted messages from WikiLeaks, acknowledging their receipt and release of sensitive emails by Podesta and Clinton, with instructions on retweets, and Trump is cheering them on. Also, on 6/19/17, the June 9th, 2016, Trump Tower meeting is aired in the press, stating that several Russians met with Jared Kushner, Trump Jr., and Rod Goldstone to get dirt on Clinton. On that same date, Lewandowski is summoned to the White House, and again he's on the hook. He never gave the president's note to AG Sessions, nor did he fire Sessions or ask him to stop the investigation. Next, the president gives an impromptu interview to the New York Times, telling the public he's angry with Sessions for having recused himself from the Russian investigation. Based on Sessions' associations with the Russians, He had to recuse himself. He had no choice. 3 days later, it was discovered by the Washington Post that U.S. intelligence intercepts showed that Sessions had discussed polling data with the Russian ambassador, contrary to what he had stated publicly, page 96 of Volume 2. Trump sends a message through Lewandowski to Sessions to stop his recusal and confine his investigation. Mueller discusses this matter as an obstruction of justice charge. The president had wanted, through Sessions' actions, to eliminate Mueller and secure all future elections. The grand jury was convened, and the president wanted to limit its scope. The president sought to remove any investigation of himself and the campaign team. Trump ordered AG Sessions to restrict and redirect 2 days after McCann had refused to give the same order. Evidently, Clinton's emails were also the subject of the June 9th meeting. Trump then dictated a letter to Trump Jr. stating that the meeting was about adoption, which was an outright lie. The chief prosecutor was supplying emails of Clinton and her dealings with Russia. Trump denied all knowledge of these emails. By this time, all documents relating to Trump, the campaign, and any Russians were to be turned over to the special prosecutor's office. Disingenuously, Reince Priebus and the attorneys heard about the information from Fox News. The president directs his communications staff to not publicly disclose information on the June 9th meeting. Jared and Ivanka Kushner had the emails and wanted to show them to Trump. He stated he was uninterested, but he already knew about them. He was concerned that the emails would leak. Hope Hicks and Kushner wanted to release the emails, and Trump said no. The president told Hicks to confine her statements to adoption. Trump Jr. amended the letter to say it was primarily about adoption and covered up the information of getting dirt on Clinton. A New York Times article about the June 9th meeting may be accessed on the internet via the link below. The article dated 7/8/17 is entitled, "Trump Team Met with Lawyer Linked to Kremlin During the Campaign." And there it is, Trump, Russia, Kushner, Manafort are the key words. That may be where Dirty Hillary originated. Their letter to the Times never mentioned the Magnitsky Act, or sanctions, or Clinton. Hicks was concerned Priebus knew and there could be a leak. The attorney, Mark Corallo, gave the real story about the June 9th meeting to the Times, introducing the Steele document to discredit Hillary Clinton and deflect the Russian connection from Trump. Actually, the GOP commissioned the Steele dossier for use as opposition research during the Republican primary. After Trump became the nominee, the Clinton campaign continued to fund op research through the dossier. The ongoing grand jury investigation was redacted, presumably because it involves Trump Jr. et al. Trump later denied knowledge of the 6/9/16 meeting. On 7/9, David Wright says the president was unaware of the 6/9 meeting. The documents leak. The attempt at obstruction didn't occur. Though the emails about Clinton were damaging, it shows bad judgment, bad character, but not obstruction. After years of harassing Sessions, on 11/7/18, the president removes Sessions. Sessions resigns. Next, Trump wants McGahn to state that he never tried to follow Mueller. Obstruction. Trump's conduct towards Flynn, Manafort, and one other is redacted as harm to an ongoing matter. Is it Rick Gates? In January 2018, Manafort told Gates not to plead because he had been told by Trump that he would be taken care of. Trump knew Manafort for years. In 1988, Trump got him a VIP pass to the RNC. Trump still talked about a rigged witch hunt to help Manafort's case. Mueller was angry and said Manafort had breached his plea agreement. He had lied to protect the president. The president and the Russians said he'd be taken care of. Manafort had no reason to cooperate. Trump is proud that Manafort, Jerome Corsi, and others never gave Mueller anything. Since these men may be operated under promises of pardons, this could also be a case for obstruction of justice. Trump stated a pardon is not off the table for Manafort, though if he's impeached, all promised pardons are null and void. Redactions for harm to an ongoing matter, page 128. Corsi is connected to WikiLeaks, 129. Page 130 is totally redacted. Trump stated a pardon is not off the table for Manafort, though if he's impeached, all promised pardons are null and void. Redactions for harm to an ongoing matter, page 128. Corsi is connected to WikiLeaks, page 129. Page 130 is totally redacted. Protection of Trump by AG Barr may result in obstruction charges as well. The president's statement during the ongoing jury trials could also have influenced the outcomes. In my opinion, the president's warning statements about Flynn could have kept Flynn lying and therefore obstructing justice. On half of page 134, all is redacted. Harm to ongoing matter stated. This may be Mueller's explanation of evidence and determination. We'll never know unless Trump is impeached. In April 2018, when Cohen's house was searched by the FBI, the president said Cohen would not flip. This is the same tactic he used with Flynn, and Flynn did not flip. By July 2018, Cohen had cooperated, and Trump called him a rat. The Trump-Moscow deal looms large, at least $2 billion, with little risk for Trump. One must ask, how dependent on Putin is Trump? He authorized the signing of the LOI by Trump Jr. and Ivanka, and with the help of Felix Sater, a Russian intermediary with the Crocus Group. He is very involved. He wants the Moscow Tower project. To be continued. I'm stopping at number 61 of my notes that go through 132 notes on volume 2 of the Mueller Report in my book, Shining a Light on the Mueller Report, a synopsis for everyone.